This week's gospel presents us with another resurrection appearance of Jesus. So this is going to be after Easter Sunday, right? Jesus appears at the tomb, he appears in the upper room, he appears on the road to Emmaus, right? Sometime after that, we're not sure exactly how long this is. The apostles are kind of hanging out together, and Peter decides, you know what, I'm going fishing. And a bunch of the guys go along with him. They've already seen Jesus alive after he had died on Good Friday. They've seen him alive. They've seen him risen. They know he's alive. They know that they're supposed to go take this message out to the world. They don't know what to do with that, right? They haven't received the Holy Spirit at Pentecost yet. So they're just kind of sitting around. And at a certain point, Peter's like, you know what? I'm going to go back to what I did before I knew Jesus. I'm going to go fishing. Who wants to come? And so a bunch of them go. And they're fishing, and Jesus shows up. And this shows us something interesting about how Jesus operates sometimes, right? Jesus will allow us not to recognize him. He'll invite us to see him in something where he might not obviously be there, right? And so there's a clue there for our lives sometimes. You need to have eyes to see. You need to have eyes of faith, or you're going to miss God in your life, right? So Jesus shows up as this guy on the shoreline, and he starts asking them, hey, you guys caught anything? No, we haven't caught anything. Why don't you throw it off the other side of the ship? If you're familiar with the gospel story, this should sound eerily familiar to the way Jesus and Peter first met. And somehow Peter doesn't recognize this until he throws the net over the other side of the ship, and he catches this huge haul of fish, and suddenly he realizes, I've seen something like this before. That guy's got to be Jesus. Another clue into how Jesus often operates in our lives. Sometimes he will let the circumstances sound oddly familiar to some way he's spoken to us before. A little bit different, but pretty similar, right? So notice this pattern of Jesus. He doesn't force his way into our life. He's not a bull in a china closet. He's not going to make us follow him. He's not going to make us see him. He's going to show up and invite us to be willing to see him and invite us to notice the patterns that he's working in our lives. And this is the pattern that I'm sure he's playing out in your life as well as mine right now. Where is God showing up in your life in ways that maybe you don't fully see, and you question, is that him? Is he actually doing this thing? Did I actually hear him say this? Does he actually want me to do this? Where are these subtle places where God's inviting you to say, yes, I do see you there. Yes, I do see you acting. Yes, I am going to step out on faith. Because in this gospel, eventually Jesus gets deeply personal with Peter, right? He's going to ask him 3 times, do you love me, to make up for those 3 denials, right? And so maybe once you open up your eyes to faith and you see God actually working in your life, then he's going to get deeply, deeply personal with you as well.